Welcome to Toronto, where it's a cloudy afternoon. The roof is closed at Rogers Center. The St. Louis Cardinals are in town for Game 2 of this series. They won the opener 9-4. A great 1-2 punch in the middle of the order. Albert Pujols, maybe the best right-handed hitter to ever play the game. The Blue Jays handled him last night, but they couldn't handle Matt Holliday. Holliday had 3 hits, including his 11th home run of the season. He is on fire and boosted his average up over 300. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez, along with Pat Tabler. And, Pat, we've got a terrific pitching matchup tonight. Chris Carpenter, the former Blue Jay, goes to the mound for the Cardinals. He's 8-1. He'll be up against Ricky Romero trying to get things turned around for the Blue Jays.
How many times have we said this over the last couple of weeks that we've got a dandy pitching matchup, and we certainly have one tonight. Romero won his last start. Chris Carpenter, he's won a Cy Young and runner-up last year. And Carpenter has really picked up where he left off last year. Really sets the tone for the St. Louis Cardinals, a true number one. He's such a bulldog out on that mound. And I think the rest of the Cardinal pitchers feed off of what Carpenter brings to the mound night in and night out. Ricky Romero, his stuff is so good when he's out there pitching and using all of his pitches and using everything, not just trying to throw it through the batters. He can be pretty tough, too.
Well, there are a lot of good hitters in both of these lineups tonight. And last night, Jose Bautista got things going again. He hit his 19th and 20th home run. He leads the majors in that department. It's a good sign that he's starting to swing the bat again.
Cito Gaston showed a lot of confidence in him, 3-0, letting him swing, and I think this really eased Bautista, what he had been going through over the last couple of weeks. And now with the slider, the hanging slider, he told me today he really saw that one, and it shows the way he hammered that pitch.
Well, when you look at the home run leaders in baseball, Bautista's atop Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers. Josh Hamilton's had a great month of June. He's hit 8 of those 17 home runs in the month of June. He's on fire. Vernon Wells has 16, but Vernon Wells has been scuffling a little bit. And for more on Wells, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, we're standing by the bat rack where Vernon Wells' bats are housed. And for Vernon, just 3 for 14 in the homestand, with 2 of those hits coming yesterday. I spoke to Dwayne Murphy about what he's working on with Wells and said he'd like to get him using more of the middle of the field. Wells has the reputation of being a dead pull guy, but by expanding that range more to the middle of the field should open things up for him. That's something those two have been working on during batting practice the last couple days.
Well, the Cardinals won the opener. Yadier Molina got the scoring started with a solo shot. Jose Bautista hit number 19 and 20. Matt Holliday had a big night. And the Blue Jays come up short end of it. Defense all over the field. Good pitching. We should see another rematch tonight.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. The skies have brightened a bit here in Toronto. The roof is half open, if you will. There's still a portion of it that's back up over the home plate area, and there are some thunder showers in the area. So I guess you could say this is not closed, but it's half open. Blue Jays looking to bounce back after a 9-4 loss at the hands of the Cardinals last night. Cardinals came out swinging the hot bat, and Tony La Russa's ball club has really been playing well and certainly heated up since he has implemented Matt Holliday into the 2 spot in the lineup.
It's a very balanced lineup. Last night, Buck, they got a run from 8 spots in the order, a hit from 8 different players, and a homer from 4 different players. So it's a very balanced lineup up and down.
Now, the perception is you look at Albert Pujols, if you shut him down, you shut the Cardinals down. That's not the case at all. 39-31, they're first in the NL Central. Matt Holliday, over his last 23 games, has really taken off. 364 average, 7 doubles, 6 home runs. And recently, he has raised his average over the last 4 games to the tune of 24 points. He is a tough out right now. Pujols, Stavinoa, Freeze. Rasmus is back in the lineup. He snapped an 0-for-17 last night with his first career pinch hit home run. Yadi Molina, Wynn, and Ryan, they will be facing Ricky Romero, the young left-hander, making his 15th start.
Pitched well last time out, picked up his 6th win of the season, allowing just an unearned run on 5 hits in the 6 innings that he pitched against the San Diego Padres. He beat them 7-1 back last week, Wednesday. Been pitching well lately. His earned run average just over 2 in his last 4 starts. Ricky likes this interleague play where he's 3-1 in 5 career starts versus the NL. This is his first outing versus the St. Louis Cardinals in his career. Scouting report for Ricky Romero. He's got a strong arsenal of pitches. Fastball, the curve, the slider, cuts it. He sinks it, a little bit of everything. Really no need to overpower the hitters. He's more effective when he's hitting spots, changing speeds, and throwing where he needs to be. And when he does that, he gets a lot of swing and miss pitches. 96 strikeouts this year for Ricky Romero, which is 4th best in the American League.
Romero truly has proven to everybody that there is no sophomore slump in his mindset. 13 wins a year ago, trying to build upon that. He's 6-3 at the start of action tonight. He has been good over his last 4 starts. Last time he really had a tough outing was in Anaheim, pitching in front of a lot of family and friends for the first time against the Angels.
Yeah, you look at some of those teams that he has faced since then. New York Yankees, he pitched 8 solid innings. Colorado, San Diego. So he is really on a good swing through right now.
Felipe Lopez takes a first pitch strike from Ricky Romero. Lopez hit a home run in the 9th inning against David Percy. High breaking ball. A ball on the strike. Felipe Lopez is a former #1 pick of the Blue Jays. He's now 29 years old. Bouncing ball near the bag at second. Lopez runs well. Hill can't make the play. Aaron Hill knew he had to hurry to get Lopez at first base. That ball was bounced right over the mound.
A lot of speed out of the box, even from the right-hand side. Lopez, that was going to be close at first base. But when you see the transfer from the glove to the hand, bobbled a little bit by Aaron Hill, they have scored it an error.
I don't agree with that, but I'm not the scorer. That's a tough play. You got Lopez with speed, and Aaron Hill was where was that. He just couldn't find the handle going back behind the mound. Tough play.
You see him shake his head a little bit there because I think he just looked up and see that they ruled that an error.
So now it's Matt Holliday. Holliday, 3 hits in last night's game, including his 11th home run of the season. He's homered in 4 straight games. Average up over 300.
3 hits to end Sunday's game. 3 hits to start a new week. So 6 for 6, and that'll really raise that average quickly.
Short hop, Gonzalez under his glove, and Holliday will reach base. Lopez moves into second. Gonzalez in between whether to take it on the line or take a short hop, and skipped under his glove.
I think he wanted to play that on the short hop because he had a better chance of turning two. He lays back on it, and you can see that the ball stayed down on him. If he catches that on a fly, Lopez goes back to first base and just one out. Tried to play it on the short hop. It got under his glove, and there are now 2 runners on.
And the second error already charged to the infield. Gonzalez picks up the air. So now Pujols with 2 aboard here in the first. Pujols was 0 for 4 with an intentional walk last night. Struck out once. Line drive left field. That'll get down in front of Dwayne Wise, and Felipe Lopez has to stop at third. So the Cardinals have had 3 runners reach base here. Pujols with his first hit of the series.
This is how they started yesterday with a bang. The middle of that lineup doing a lot of damage versus the Blue Jays. The 2 errors, one by Hill, his 3rd of the season, and Gonzalez, his 11th of the season, has really opened up the door. Ricky Romero is going to have to bear down and try and pick his teammates up.
Bases loaded, nobody out for Nick Stabenoa, the DH. Bounced on the ground, over base, short hops. It's coming home in time to get Lopez. They forced Lopez at home. Good play by Lyle Overbay. He took the short hop and fired a strike to John Buck.
Yeah, heads up play. Really, when your momentum is coming towards home plate, that's where you've got to throw the ball. You don't have time to go back to the bag and then try and get him. He keeps the force at the plate. Buck puts his right foot on the plate, acts like a first baseman, and stretches and gets out of the way before Lopez gets there.
So now Romero has a chance to get out of the inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. David Freese, the batter. Freese had a 2-run single in last night's game. Good first pitch strike.
Freese does not have a lot of power, just 4 home runs, but what he does is he's got a very short swing. The average up over 300, and he has hit really well in these situations. Runners in scoring position, getting that runner in from third and less than 2 out.
Breaking ball fouled back. Romero's out in front. We had talked about Ricky Romero pitching so well at home, and he has over his last 4 starts. But boy, he gets out of this situation with the bases loaded and nobody out, minimizing the damage. They do a great job. Tough lineup. 0-2. David Freese. Bounced in the dirt, smothered by John Buck. Looked like Buck got it on the right forearm, but boy, he kept it in front of him.
Yeah, sacrifice any part of your body just to keep that run from scoring. He leads the American League in wild pitches with 15. John Buck saved a wild pitch and a run with that play right there.
No, he did a great job, and the first reaction was to think ball in the dirt, and he was quick to block it. A ball in 2 strikes now. Off the plate inside. Well, we have talked about the development of this young pitching staff and how they think their way through situations like this. Don't try to muscle their way through it.
Maybe last year, Ricky Romero was thinking about the next hitter 2 pitches from now. All of these young pitchers are now in the moment during an at-bat.
Got him. Curveball struck him out. David Freese went too far. He tried to check his swing. Romero comes up with a big strikeout.
And being in the moment is bases loaded, nobody out. You get a ground ball out, the force at the plate, you get a couple of strikes, and then you drop that hammer on David Freese for the second out. Can hold up. It looks very inviting. A check swing strikeout.
He could throw that breaking ball with a lot of confidence because Buck had blocked the ball in the dirt earlier. Now Colby Rasmus with 2 outs. Just off the outside corner. Rasmus came into the game last night in the 8th inning. Pinch hit for Nick Stavanoa and hit a pinch hit home run. He had been 0 for 17 prior to that at bat. Two balls and no strikes. Rasmus, a .256 hitter against the left-handers.
They have not faced a lot of left-handers this year. Left-handed starters are just 12-9 versus them this year.
There's a strike on the corner.
Good pitch there. Jason Frazier tries to throw a fastball on the inner half, and Rasmus has some power. 14 home runs. That's number 14 right there. Really used his hands that time to get through the zone. He's got a great home run ratio.
2 balls and a strike. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the first. Fly ball that'll slice out of play.
We have seen it all year long from Sean Markham and Brett Cecil, Ricky Romero. When they find their way into trouble, they have been able to find a way out of it by using all their pitches and thinking through. Look at the concentration that you see from Romero there on the mound.
They are not intimidated, that's for sure. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just off the plate. Missed with the fastball. So it'll be a full count here. 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Holiday at third. Reached on the fielder's choice. Pujols had the single. And Stavanoa on the fielder's choices at first. Bases loaded. Full count to Colby Rasmus. Got him. Ricky Romero pitches out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation and strikes out 2 to end the inning. He got Freeze on a breaking ball. Take a look at the Blue Jays lineup as they prepare to hit here in the first. Lyle Overbay, over his last 21 games, has been swinging a hot bat. .324 average, 6 doubles, 3 homers, and 9 driven in. Dwayne Wise, top of the order, gets a start tonight. He has not played since San Diego when he had a couple of hits in the leadoff spot. This lineup will take on Chris Carpenter, who comes into this game 8-1.
This is also his team-high 16th start of the season. 3rd interleague start. He also faced the Los Angeles Angels and the Oakland A's this year.
Dwayne Wise leading off. Takes the first 2 pitches out of the strike zone. 2-0.
Last season's runner-up to the Cy Young. Again this season, picking up where he left off. Great numbers all around for Chris Carpenter. Really think he sets the tone for these St. Louis Cardinal pitchers. He's a bulldog. He's tough. Doesn't give in to anybody.
3 balls and a strike to Dwayne Wise. Shot right to Pujols. From his knees, gloves it, and steps on the bag. 1 up, 1 down here in the first.
Well, we saw Chris Carpenter when he was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays years ago, but it's a different Chris Carpenter. He challenges hitters a little bit more, uses all of his pitches. No messing around with Carpenter. He's going to come right after you. And when he gets ahead of you, he's going to throw that powerful curveball. It's his signature pitch. Gets stronger as the game progresses. Really gets tougher as he gets deeper into the game.
Aaron Hill, the second baseman. It's a first pitch fastball. Carpenter loves to work quickly. Really keeps the pressure on the batter.
He's smart. He has an idea what he wants to do.
Line drive down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Paul Nart was camped on the left field foul line, had a real good look at it, and took a long look before he called it. And threw his hands into the air, indicating foul.
Didn't miss by much. Good to see Aaron Hill to get around on this pitch, and it's hooking and hooking. And at the last moment, you can see the umpire right on top of that one. He calls it foul right away.
That's one of those balls that if it were a chalk foul line, it might have kicked up some chalk. But Paul Nart saw it foul. Carpenter set to work. Off-speed pitch fouled off. A ball and 2 strikes to Aaron Hill. Curveball down and away. You talk about loving the old-fashioned game of baseball. That's what we've seen a lot of lately with the starting pitching matchups we have seen. Going back into Colorado, San Diego. Have the Giants here, and now St. Louis. 2-2 to Aaron Hill. Caught looking. A breaking ball catches the inside corner.
All the great pitching that we have seen hasn't been a lot of fun for the hitters. Defensively for the Cardinals, Holiday, Colby Rasmus back in there in center field. Randy Wynn, who played center last night, moves over to right field. There's the inner defense. Pretty good one for the Cardinals. And Albert Pujols, we keep talking about how great of an offensive player he is. He's also a very good defender. First in the National League in total chances and putouts and assists. Just 3 errors this year and a .996 fielding percentage for Pujols.
Pujols won the Gold Glove in 2006. Adam Lynn takes a breaking ball off the outside corner, evens the count at 1-1. And 0 for 4 in last night's game. His average is down to 210.
Don't you feel that he is starting to come out of it, though? He was robbed twice last night by each corner defender of the Cardinals. Freese made a great play.
Diving away from the infield, made a nice play on a line drive. Freese has got a lot of range at third base as well. Off-speed pitch, he tapped foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the first.
And a big play in the game was the play by Albert Pujols when Adam Lind was up. A couple of runners on, and he screamed one down the first base line, and he took away extra bases from him.
Curveball again, tapped foul at the plate. Cedar Gaston talked about that play, how most American League teams don't play Lind to pull.
Right.
But Pujols was shaded near the foul line. Gaston felt like had that been an American League first baseman, he probably wouldn't have been positioned there, and Lind might have had a double.
Double and 2 RBIs. It may be a different outcome of the game.
Another 2-2 pitch to Lind. Ground ball. Pujols with the backhand waves Carpenter off, takes it himself. Good inning for Chris Carpenter. 3 up, 3 down in the first. We are scoreless after 1 at Rogers Center. The American League holds a slight edge over the National League in wins and losses. The ERA, American League, a little bit better. I think you talk to Blue Jay players, and they'd tell you the National League's been pitching a lot better than the American League, at least the guys they've been seeing.
Yeah, they've been facing the best of the best in the National League. It's a little bit different the last few years. The American League has really dominated the last couple of years in interleague play.
Both of these managers have championship pedigree, no question about that. Cito Gaston with his back-to-back World Series wins in 92 and 93, and Tony La Russa, of course, with the Cardinals most recently in 06. Tony La Russa, amazing how long he has been managing and how well he has done, and he's kept this coaching staff together quite a while. He's had Dave McKay for a long time. La Russa in his 32nd year as a manager. 15th season with the Cardinals. Oh, 2 pitch to Yadi Molina. Breaking ball high.
You mentioned all the years that they have been together. 12 times they have finished in first place, which is very impressive. Loves to win.
Dave Duncan, the pitching coach of Tony La Russa. A little check swing. Throw my bat at the ball, stay alive by Yadi Molina. Fouled off the breaking ball. But Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa started way back with the Chicago White Sox. And Duncan and La Russa have been really a terrific tandem, and I think this is the most important relationship in baseball. Manager, pitching coach. I think that's where the whole game revolves.
It certainly does. You talk about, okay, who are we going to have in game?
Another foul back.
What is our rotation? What does he look like? Constantly you'll see pitching coaches and managers sitting next to each other, getting themselves, look at that on the other side of the diamond. Bruce Wall right next to his manager.
So much of the game is based on how well your starting pitching is and does. And certainly tonight we've got a marquee matchup with Romero and Carpenter. Breaking ball crossed all the way across the plate, but was called the ball. Romero did a great job of pitching out of a tough jam in the first inning. A couple of errors behind him in the field. 2-2 to Molina. Full count. Chris Carpenter had a 1-2-3 first inning. This is his first appearance at Rogers Center since 2005 when he threw a 9-inning one-hitter against the Blue Jays.
He was dealing that day. Whew. 10 strikeouts. The only hit he gave up was to Russ Adams, and that didn't happen until the 6th inning in that game. Just one walk, and you love to watch Chris Carpenter pitch because he's so intense and into the game. Great stuff, too.
Molina works for the walk. Leadoff walk here in the second. Check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, it looked as if the Blue Jays started the game off with back-to-back errors, first by Aaron Hill and then Alex Gonzalez, but the Matt Holliday ball has now been ruled a base hit, so the Blue Jays get out of the inning with 2 hits, 1 error, no runs scored. Again, the Alex Gonzalez play on Matt Holliday now ruled a base hit.
And I still think they could change the Aaron Hill error as well. But then again, I'm not keeping score.
Yeah. You can't, I guess you can't assume that he was going to make the play.
Randy Wynn, batting right-handed, switch hitter in right field tonight. Started in center field in last night's game, moved to right field late in the game as a defensive realignment. Wynn started out the season with the New York Yankees. They let him go, and St. Louis picked him up very quickly. The fastball cut on and missed. Yadi Molina starts things off here in the second with the leadoff walk. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Base hit, Randy Wynn. Molina moves up to second. So again, the Cardinals get the first 2 on here in the second inning.
Lots of base runners so far for Ricky Romero, who's able to get out of it in the first inning. A little bit different now. First 2 runners are aboard, and you've got a batter who is hitting right around 200. So we will probably see him square around and try and sacrifice these runners up. Ricky just needs to get the ball down a little bit more.
Now, Brendan Ryan was in a similar situation last night in the 5th inning and popped up a bunt attempt. Popped it up the first baseline to Overbay. First and second, nobody out. Brendan Ryan not showing bunt. One hopper to the second baseman. Gonzalez for 1. Back to first, double play. So Tony La Russa not opting for the sacrifice bunt. Ricky Romero gets Ryan to hit into the 4-6-3 double play.
Here's why I would think that they won a bunt. They had a golden opportunity in the first inning and came up empty. So you want to salvage something with all these base runners that have been on through the first inning and 2/3. So I thought with your number 9 hitter, you want to try and give yourself 2 cracks at knocking in those first runs of the ball game, and it worked out beautifully with the Blue Jays.
2 outs now for Felipe Lopez. On the ground. Aaron Hill with a good grab and throws to Overbay for the out. Again, Ricky Romero pitches around a walk and a base hit. We're scoreless after an inning and a half. Per email address. Vote early, vote often. Vote your players for the All-Star game. Brendan Wells takes the first pitch inside from Chris Carpenter. In on the hands and foul out of play. Wells is 0 for 3 against Carpenter. Very limited sampling. These two would have played together in 2002. Carpenter started a series of injuries at that point. Carpenter's a pretty good study, and obviously we've been talking about Dustin McGowan recently having his shoulder problems. Carpenter went through 2 shoulder operations and bounced back to become one of the premier pitchers in the game.
2003, he was injured. Pitched a little bit, missed all of 2004, and came back. And he was talking the other day that the pitch there, he knows what Dustin McGowan is going through because he was there. And you wonder always, is all this hard work going to pay off? And if you don't see results, how long it takes.
Fouled back. baby steps, and sometimes it gets frustrating. And then certainly if you have a setback after your initial surgery, you think about packing it in. And Carpenter never went through too much of that. Line drive into right field. Randy went on the move and makes the catch as that ball was sinking away from him. You talk about Chris Carpenter, just how effective he has been after his surgery. Since 2004, he's among the best in win percentage.
And I guess the only difference between the Carpenter that we saw early in his career and now, he's got a better feel for pitching. He can cut the ball a little bit better, sinks the ball just a little bit better. When he first came up, he was more of a power type of pitcher, wasn't he?
He had a good fastball. He always had the curveball, and his changeup was good. Now he's added a little more cutter, and he understands that you just move the ball around and throw strikes and just try to make quality pitches. Two balls and no strikes. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, when addressing the media about Dustin McGowan yesterday, Alex Anthopoulos said that they'll use the Chris Carpenter project as a blueprint for how they're going to treat McGowan, feeling that they owe it to him, the organization does, to see him through getting back healthy and getting back out on the mound.
Well, that's the kind of people that are running the organization, and Dustin McGowan has just been beset by injuries, and there's no reason not to give him an opportunity to come back. 4-pitch walk to Gonzalez.
So hard to give up on talent unless you are absolutely sure. Number one picks, they're number one picks for a reason. Chris Carpenter, Dustin McGowan, tough to give up on those type of arms.
A one-out walk. Now Jose Bautista, big night last night. Home runs number 19 and 20. Base line drive left field, and Colby Rasmus is over to cut it off. That ball was hit on the line. Rasmus got a good jump, and Gonzalez hustles back to first.
That's what they do, Blue Jays. They get in there and they swing it, and they swing it early in the count. That time it looked like the ball got a little bit behind Jose Bautista and couldn't drive it over his head. Chris Carpenter will take note of that, file that away, and remember the next time he sees Bautista, he's not going to throw him a fastball.
Lyle Overbay with 2 outs and a runner at first. Overbay was 0 for 3 in last night's game. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Carpenter just doesn't give you much time to get set in the batter's box. He is always anxious to throw the next pitch.
He's always thinking about the next pitch, how he wants to set up hitters.
0-2.
He has been a consistent winner since coming over to the Cardinals. 76-25 in 7+ seasons with St. Louis. 2-time All-Star.
Curveball bends around the outside corner. You mentioned that record 76-25. He's just one of 3 pitchers to win 75% of their games in the first 100 games for a ball club. Pedro Martinez, the only other modern era pitcher to do that for the Red Sox. Ball in the dirt. Pedro went 78-22 in his first 100 decisions. Cy Young for the Red Sox went 75-25 in his first 100. And Carpenter, as you mentioned, with his 76-25 record. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second.
Started the year last year on the disabled list. It's the first 6 weeks of the season. Ended up going 17-4. Carpenter's earned run average last year, 224. This year it's at 283, and he can't even crack the top 10 in the National League.
Overbay strikes out. Looked like that cut fastball ran down and in. Second strikeout of the night for Chris Carpenter. He strands a base runner at first, gets the ball down and in to
recap show at 11 Eastern on East and Ontario.
Very interesting time in the world of young hockey players. Obviously a chance to break into the professional ranks and play in the NHL. Matt Holliday takes a first pitch curveball for a strike. Holliday had an infield single in his first at bat. Average up to 310. Another breaking ball bounced in the dirt.
Before the Cardinals came to Toronto, they had a series against the Oakland A's, and before that series, Matt Holliday had 1 home run in 22 games. He had gone a career worst 43 at bats without an RBI, but really started to click in and driving in runs, and I think a lot of it has to do with pitch selection. Laying off borderline pitches, and when he gets his pitch, he really hasn't missed it.
Two balls and a strike to Matt Holliday. 3-1. We talk about Holliday and his exaggerated leg kick, and that's a timing mechanism that takes a lot of precise timing, and sometimes he can get in peaks and valleys, and right now he's in a big time peak. 3-1. Into right field, Bautista on the run, makes a belt high grab, and Holliday is retired.
He has that ability to hit it all over the ballpark when he's hot, and really nobody's hotter in this lineup than Holliday. This time he fights this one off. Inside out swing. He's so strong it lifts it to Bautista and gives him a chance. Hitting in front of Albert Pujols, I'm sure he's getting a lot of pitches to hit now.
Pujols had a base hit in his first at bat. And cut fastball runs all the way across the plate.
This is his 10th year in the big leagues already for Albert Pujols. His previous 9, 30 home runs in each one of those seasons. Never been done before. 9 straight seasons of 30 home runs. The next closest to start a career with 30 home runs, his hitting coach, Mark McGwire, at 4 straight to start his career.
Mark McGwire in his first year as the hitting coach here. Chance to work with some great hitters and impart some of his experience and knowledge into their approach at the plate. Pujols with a 2-1 count. Takes a fastball away.
The numbers that Pujols has put up so far in his career are staggering. Consecutive 330 home runs, 100 RBI seasons.
Bounces over the glove of Aaron Hill. That looked like it came off the lip of the dirt and the turf at second base. Pujols is 2 for 2 tonight.
Boy, not just a great power hitter and run producer, but a great hitter also. Came into this season. Watch him take this breaking ball right back the middle, and you're right, I think it hit the seam and bounced over the glove. A .334 career hitter coming into this season. Amazing.
Pujols is on for Nick Stavanoa, the DH. 1 out here in the 3rd. Fastball down and in. Stavanoa was the DH in last night's game. Had a single in 3 at bats. There's a fastball on the corner. A ball and a strike.
No team, no National League team has had more success using the DH since interleague play started, since in 1997, than the St. Louis Cardinals. They have a .325 average. They're DHs. Putting that extra hitter in there has helped the Cardinals.
A ball and 2 strikes. Got it. Good changeup. A lot of late movement. Stavanoa goes down on strikes.
Not this time for the DH. Good changeup from Romero. Look at the grip. It's a 3-finger type of changeup, and you get the tumbling action on it. That's why you see a lot of strikeouts with that pitch.
David Freese was the strikeout victim back in the first as Romero started to work his way out of that bases loaded situation. That's on the first pitch and fouls it off the plate up the first baseline. Freese over 300 in his first full season with the Cardinals. Pujols at first with 2 outs. We are scoreless here. Top of the third inning. Pujols will run. And he picks good situations to run. He's 6 for 9 in steals this year. Curveball up and away. A ball on the strike. David Freese came from the San Diego Padres in a deal that sent Jim Edmonds to the Padres back in December of 07. Fouled off into the glove of John Buck. Had 2 big seasons in AAA, hitting 300 in back-to-back seasons at Memphis for the Cardinals before he earned the opportunity here this year. He's behind Ricky Romero, a ball and 2 strikes. Sharply on the ground, Aaron Hill with a backhand, flip to Gonzalez for the force out. Good play by Aaron Hill. That took a wicked hop and he stayed with it. Ricky Romero gets out of the third inning. Good defensive play behind him.
Last year, as you see, Vernon Wells with his hitting coach, Dwayne Murphy. Marco Scudero was the leadoff batter for the Blue Jays last year. Not a lot of speed on the team.
I think, too, it reflects the fact that the young pitchers have done a good job. They have held their own, matching the record through 71 games of a year ago. John Buck starts things off here against Carpenter. Bends back from a breaking ball, 1-1. I think John Buck and Jose Molina deserve an awful lot of credit for what they have done with this young pitching staff and how they have gotten more comfortable as the season continues on. There's that good curveball. He comes right back and throws a strike with it.
Early in the season, John Buck looked like he was having a lot of trouble working with these young pitchers. Now he looks comfortable. You don't see him shake him off too much, going out to the mound.
Hard shot to third. Freeze from his knees. Steps up and makes a good throw to Pujols. And John Buck has a hit taken away by young David Freeze.
Freeze from his knees, huh? They play good inner defense. He does have 8 errors, but he's played a good defense. And you have to when you've got Carpenter on the mound. You get a lot of ground ball outs when Chris is on the mound. So the left side has to be airtight. Good job getting it over to Pujols, who digs it for the first out.
Jared Hoffbauer, the former Cardinal, takes the first pitch strike. Hoffbauer made his Blue Jays debut last night. Came up with a hit in 3 chips and scored a run. Good year at Las Vegas prior to his promotion. There's a base hit down the right field line. Hoffbauer around first, headed for second. And the ball bounces off the wall. He'll have his first double of the season.
We got a shot of him yesterday, Hoffbauer and his buddy Albert Pujols, talking before the game, and they almost met again coming around first base. This is 2 bases all the way, and watch Hoffbauer come around the bag and brush his friend right when he gets right by him. First double of the season for Jarrett Hoffbauer.
A 1-out double for Hoffbauer, and Dwayne Wise takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Wise grounded to first in his first at bat. Blue Jays with a chance to break out on top here. Curveball bounced foul at the plate. Facing Chris Carpenter, you know he's got the curveball. He's got a pretty good fastball. How do you approach him as a batter?
Well, I'm going to watch him early in the game. And so far from what I've seen, he has had trouble getting his curveball over. So I'm going to eliminate that at least early until he finds it. I think you have to go right back through the middle against Carpenter.
0-2, curveball cut on and missed. Molina blocks it, tags Dwayne Wise for the strikeout. Third strikeout for Carpenter comes on the curveball.
If you're thinking back through the middle, that'll keep your front shoulder in and keep you on the ball, because Carpenter can move it to all the quadrants of the strike zone. You get 2 strikes, and pretty good chance you're going to get that power curveball.
Aaron Hill caught looking at a curveball his first time up. That curveball misses down. It seems as though when Carpenter needs to make a pitch, he's going to go to that curveball, even though he hasn't really commanded the strike zone with it.
If you don't have it early, do you keep going to it until you find it?
I think it's that important for him that he has to.
It's such a big part of what he does.
Cutter off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Reno. Good job by Aaron Hill to force Carpenter into throwing a strike here. Hasn't done that yet. Jose Bautista got the green light, 3-0 last night in the second inning. Hit a home run. Off the plate, a 4-pitch walk. 2 on, 2 outs now. Adam Lind, the DH, will bat.
His strikeout to walk ratio is over 3-1. Chris Carpenter tonight. That is his second walk already in 3 innings, fighting his command right now.
Off the plate inside. No swing down at third, the indication by Paul Nart. Here's where Lynn's really got to battle his anxieties to try to do something dramatic. Make sure you get a strike in this situation. Got a chance to drive in a run. Inside, popped up down the right field line. Wind over for it, but it's back out of play.
5 pitches in a row missing the zone, so you got to really keyhole it. A lot of times when batters are slumping or they're not producing, they feel like they need to hit a 7 or 8 run home run. A little bit here, a little bit there, and good things will happen. And next thing you know, you look up and the scoreboard is lighted up with RBIs.
Fouled back. A ball and 2 strikes. Carpenter, even though he has walked a batter here, continues to stay out of the middle of the plate, working to the corners.
Yeah, the 2 strikes that he just threw to Lynn, 1 on the hands and 1 away.
There's that curveball for the strikeout. Breaking ball in the dirt, and Carpenter continues to lean heavily on that breaking pitch. He gets 2 on board, but strikes out 2 and punches out Adam Lynn to end the third. We are threatening around the area, have moved out, and we've got a whale of a pitching matchup. Ricky Romero hooked up against Chris Carpenter here. We are scoreless through 3 innings. Colby Rasmus will start things off here in the 4th. First pitch strike. Rasmus struck out to end the 1st inning. 14 home runs, 36 driven in. Pretty good numbers early in the season for Rasmus.
Just 205 at-bats for Rasmus this year.
Curveball lifted into center field. Vernon Wells moves underneath it. 1 out here in the 4th. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, we have Philip Dietrich, who's the 45th pick by the Blue Jays in this year's draft. Interesting story. Dietrich, after a birthday party last year, his mother told him not to go outside. He did. He got into a rock throwing contest, hit in the head, woke up in Sick Children's Hospital, almost died. Here he is now with a chance to sign with the Toronto Blue Jays as their 45th pick. So a very interesting story. One of the Toronto Star High School All-Stars.
That's great. The Toronto High School All-Stars were honored before the game here tonight. They received their plaques in recognition of their accomplishments. It's got to be a great feeling for Philip to be able to rebound from that injury and get himself back to playing to those high standards and get himself drafted.
Drafted by your hometown team. Better than that, isn't it?
Nope. Pretty good. All the kids were down there on the field with their jerseys on, and pretty proud moment for them to be introduced here at Rogers Center. 2 quick outs now for Randy Wynn, the right fielder. Ricky Romero looks like he's starting to feel pretty good about his command.
Yeah, early on, he couldn't get the ball down. Had base runners in the first, the second, just one last inning. Now it looks like he's hitting his spots and keeping it down. That has been a problem for Romero at times, the base on balls, and I think that's just part of growing as a pitcher and coming up and feeling comfortable. Good pitch there, right on the inner half. He came in here 8th in the American League for walks. Anytime that he has thrown quality pitches, he has gone deep into ball games, especially here at Rogers Center.
Sharply hit on the ground through the left side for a base hit. Randy Wynn has his second hit of the night. Two-out base hit here in the fourth. Gonzalez dove for the ball, but it was past him before he could get that glove extended. That's the 5th Cardinal hit tonight. Brendan Ryan hit into a double play in his last at bat. That came in the second. First pitch swinging, ground ball behind second. Gonzalez to Hill for the force out. One pitch, Ricky Romero gets out of it. Defense has made some good plays behind him. After 4.5, we are still scoreless.
Owned Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Well, scoreless here at Rogers Center tonight, Cardinals and the Blue Jays. And when the Blue Jays win, obviously they win because they can swing the bats. Almost 10 hits per game. But boy, when they don't have the ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark, they have a tough time winning.
Half as many home runs in their losses, 36-72. Also, I think you have to combine hitting with runners in scoring position. I think it goes hand in hand along with hitting home runs. You have to hit with runners in scoring position. Take advantage of those opportunities.
Brendan Wells rips one into left field, base hit. Brendan Wells having a conversation with Dwayne Murphy after his last at bat, talking about that ball moving away from him. Stays on this one and starts things off here in the fourth.
When he stays in the middle of the field, his first time up, he lined out to right field. When he stays in the middle of the field, everything seems to work together so much better for Vernon Wells. When he's pulling the ball too much, that front side is opening up and susceptible to breaking balls away. Time we stay right on that outside pitch.
Alex Gonzalez rips to the first pitch. Brendan Ryan to second for one. Lopez to first, double play. Carpenter erased the base hit on one pitch. Ryan quickly to Lopez, easy double play.
Yeah, you couldn't roll it out there any easier for the middle infielders for the St. Louis Cardinals. When Carpenter is on, he's sinking that ball. That's what he gets, ground ball, and lets the middle infield do the rest. Felipe Lopez, that ex-shortstop with that good arm, easily makes the double play.
Ryan's got quick hands and gave Lopez a great feed. 2 outs now for Jose Bautista. Curveball for a strike.
Look at the right-handed batters really duck out of the way of that curveball. It still catches part of the plate. Shows you how good that is.
Another curveball. This time it's hit foul.
Burt Blyleven had a curveball like that. Right-handers would be up there and they'd start bailing out and it would go across the middle of the plate.
Carpenter taking a little extra time now. 0-2 to Bautista. Another curveball fouled off. I think the way the umpiring has changed over the years, it's eliminated a lot of the good curveballs like Carpenter's because they don't call it. The strike zone has gotten much lower, and that big breaking curveball doesn't get called strike that often. A lot of pitchers have just scrapped it. So down from the side there.
It's become a side-to-side strike zone as opposed to up and down strike zone?
I don't think it's gotten any wider. I think it's just gotten shorter. And I think late 60s, early 70s into the 80s, it was a higher strike. And because of that, curveball would be a good pitch for pitchers to use. But I just think because everybody wants to get shortcuts and get to the big leagues, they go to the slider and the cutter. Easily more, they can throw it more consistently for strikes.
Which has become a big part of pitching, the cutter and the sinker.
Popped up, back behind the net and out of play.
We had an interesting question before the game. Have we ever known a pitcher who has a good cutter and a good curveball to go along with it? It's either one or the other, isn't it?
Generally it is, but I think we're seeing more and more guys throw curveballs now. And I think, we have seen it with Jimenez in Colorado. You see the Tampa Bay staff, they all throw good curveballs, and they cut the ball as well. I think pitchers have had the upper hand this year. There's another curveball. This one just foul. But that was the old axiom that if you threw a good curveball, you couldn't throw a slider.
Right.
I don't buy that. I think we're seeing a lot of four-pitch pitchers now. Carpenter's one of them. Another curveball.
Better location with it now, too. 6 times he has fouled off pitches from Carpenter in this at-bat. 1 and 2. He might want to stand him up with a fastball at some point.
Here it comes. Trying to get him to chase the high fastball. You could see Yadier Molina waving for it to be upstairs. Carpenter always thinking, loves to challenge these good hitters. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cutter off the plate, full count.
When you throw that high fastball, all you want to do is stand that batter up, get him his eye level a little bit higher, and opens up something off speed.
Full count pitch. Another curveball, he walked him. You can see Carpenter just wasn't going to give in to Jose Bautista and throw him a fastball.
At least not for a strike. Good at bat by Bautista. When he is hitting well, he is seeing the ball and taking good pitches. Carpenter tried to get him to fish, but fish ain't biting that time.
Lyle Overbay with 2 outs and a man on. Swings at the first pitch and drives it to left field, but Holliday takes the ball right on the warning track. Overbay gave it a ride, but it died in the glove of the left fielder. Carpenter gets out of the 4th. We are scoreless after 4.
Henderson Alvarez, who plays for the Lansing Lugnuts, and New Hampshire right-hand pitcher Tristan Magnuson, both selected to represent the world team at the 2010 Futures Game coming up on July 11th in Anaheim as part of the All-Star Game festivities. Magnuson is a native of Vancouver, British Columbia, so great news for a couple of Jays prospects. You'll get to see him on the world stage coming up at the All-Star Game.
It's a great opportunity to go to that Futures Game. There's a little swinging bunt down the third baseline. Hoffpauir unloads in a flash to get Felipe Lopez. One out here in the fifth.
Shows quick feet, sure hands, good accurate arm. All tapped out in front. That is his play. If you can get it, you've got to be able to take it. Hoffpauir, look at the quickness, good hands, and an accurate throw for the first out.
Well, the Blue Jays got to see Jared Hoffpauir in spring training, and he had good at-bats, and he played all over the infield. He's predominantly a middle infielder, but played 20 games at third base down in AAA, and probably a preview of what they want to see from him. Maybe down the road he can be that utility guy that plays all around the infield if he can't be the everyday third baseman. Matt Holliday, 1 for 2 tonight. Breaking ball upstairs. Sam Cosentino mentioned the Futures Game and how Tristan Magnuson and Henderson Alvarez are going to the Futures Game. Aaron Hill and Vernon Wells both participated in the Futures Game prior to the All-Star Game before they established themselves. Matt Holliday to third base. Hoffpauir is there. Rights himself and fires to first.
Reliability, resale value, and race-proven innovation. Get it all plus 0.9% financing and a $500 gas card on new Civics during the Honda Checkered Flag event.
2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Albert Pujols 2 for 2 tonight. Very difficult to shut out both Holliday and Pujols. Last night they shut out Pujols. He was 0 for 4. But Matt Holliday had 3 hits, including a home run tonight. Pujols has a couple, and Holliday has 1. Make it 3 for 3 for Pujols. Line drive into center.
Well, they've tried a fastball. They've tried a curveball. That time they tried a changeup. He gets great extension, great plate coverage. Doesn't strike out a lot. Just a great hitter who reaches a pitch down and away from him for his third hit.
Romero, with 2 outs, will face Nick Stavinoa, the DH. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it at the plate.
You know, the thing about Pujols, he had 64 strikeouts last year. He's always had more walks than strikeouts. 64 strikeouts last year. He almost had as many intentional walks last year as strikeouts. That's what he can do.
There goes Pujols. Stavinoa lifts it into center field. Wells is calling for it. And he's there to make the catch to end the inning. So Ricky Romero gives up another hit. The Cardinals have 6 hits against Romero, but he's kept them off the scoreboard. the view as well. Lots of Cardinal fans here at attendance during these interleague games. And they've been entertained to a good pitching matchup. Chris Carpenter throws a first pitch curveball. John Buck thought it was around the plate.
What a first half it has been for John Buck. 12 home runs. That's the most home runs by a Blue Jay catcher before the All-Star break in their history.
Swinging bunt up the third base line. This is going to be trouble. Freeze. Not in time. John Buck has an infield hit.
Well, he can go long and he can go short. 12 home runs, so you've got to respect that. Freeze playing very deep with Buck at the plate. Do-or-die play by the third baseman. He comes up firing, and the throw's off target by a little bit, and Pujols has to come off the bag. It's an infield single for John Buck.
Are you sure those 12 home runs by a catcher before the All-Star break are the most? I kind of remember getting hot one year, but
I'm not talking about batting practice.
Oh.
I'm talking about in the game.
In the game, okay. John Buck gets an infield hit, so they're going to make sure he doesn't steal second.
Well, he got a huge lead, doesn't he?
Jared Hoffbauer had a double in his last at bat, a shot down the right field line. Big cut and a bouncing foul at the third baseline. Hoffbauer has good at bats. Seems to have a pretty good idea of what he's doing at the plate.
I think he had a good sense that Chris Carpenter was going to come inside with something this at bat. He doubled down the right field line like you mentioned, and David Freese was pulled in as the third baseman, anticipating a bunt, and he had Hoffbauer was thinking inside and pulling it by him. His game is more spray the ball around the field. But if you have a sense that that pitcher's going to come in there, take a good shot and whack it by the third baseman.
He played 6 years in the Cardinals minor league system and was a .284 career hitter in the minor leagues. Curveball gets him. Carpenter really going to that curveball to strike out the Blue Jays. His 5th strikeout of the night.
Really had Jared Hoffbauer out on his front foot. Came out on that front foot, and that front side opened up. 5 strikeouts now for Carpenter.
1 out for Dwayne Wise. He struck out in the 3rd. Freeze in at 3rd, guarding against the bunt. Carpenter just kind of waited things out. Wise, like all the hitters here with the Blue Jays, out practicing his bunting last couple of days before batting practice.
Yeah, we saw Fred Lewis out here, and Dwayne Wise. He certainly has the speed to be able to pull that off.
Left field, Matt Holliday on the run on the warning track, but makes the grab. John Buck has to retreat to first base. Wise hit it hard, but right at the left fielder.
He hit it hard and he hit it deep. Matt Holliday plays a very deep left field. Dwayne Wise at the plate. He was back there very quickly, read it off the bat right away. Good defense by Holliday. Good positioning.
So there are 2 outs now after the Buck infield hit to start the inning. Aaron Hill will try to keep it alive. First pitch strike with the fastball. Off the plate, 1-1. Blue Jays have just 3 hits, including the infield hit by John Buck this inning. Wells had a single to the left, and Hoffbauer had the double down the right field line. Changeup pulled to the hole at shortstop. Ryan to second in time to get Buck. The force out at second base ends the 5th inning. Quite a pitcher's duel here. Carpenter and Romero hooked up in a scoreless tie. Chris Carpenter for the Cardinals has held the Blue Jays to just 3 hits, while Ricky Romero has done a great job as well. Carpenter has walked 3 but struck out 5, and Ricky Romero has answered the challenge.
Yeah, Ricky got off to a rocky start in the 1st inning. The defense let him down somewhat, but he came back to strike out a couple of the batters. We knew this was going to happen with these 2 pitchers out on the mound, both of them with great earned run averages, so runs are going to be hard to come by tonight.
This is kind of like Romero's start in Denver against the Rockies, a very much talked about Ubaldo Jimenez-Ricky Romero matchup. Good curveball for a strike. That didn't develop more so than anything because of the weather.
Yeah,
it was raining all night long, and both pitchers had to battle through that. That game was called after 6. Good fastball. Romero is in much better command of his pitches now. I think the adrenaline got to him in the 1st inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, and he got out of it. I think he was hyped up after that inning. Now he seems to be much more comfortable. Not so for John Buck.
3 times now that he's beat up his catcher. Got him on the right bicep the 1st time. Just catch it anywhere. The thing about Ricky Romero is when he comes out of his delivery at times, he really falls apart. Ball starts flying all over the place.
Good pitch.
Wow.
Everybody involved thought it was a strike except the umpire.
Yeah, the batter looked like he was heading towards the dugout. John Buck looked like he was ready to catch the ball and throw it to 3rd.
2 balls and 2 strikes to David Freese. Breaking ball in the dirt. Full count.
One of the things that Bruce Walton is trying to keep Ricky doing is just stay in your delivery and just pitch. Don't try and do too much. Stay together. Use all of your pitches. And don't get amped up, like you said, like he was possibly in the 1st inning.
Got him. Went around and gets the call down at first base. Tony Randazzo rings up David Freese. 2nd time Freese has gone down swinging.
2nd time on a check swing. 3-2 breaking ball. Looked like a cutter or a slider, and Freese can't hold up. Goes around for the 1st out.
Now, I just think Ricky had a little bit extra adrenaline after he got out of the inning. Not necessarily that he was intimidated, but he was excited to strand 3 base runners in the 1st. Hobie Rasmus, a broken bat flare into center. That'll get down for a hit. Rasmus 1 for 3 tonight. Dave McKay, third base coach, longtime coach for Tony La Russa. The first third baseman for the Blue Jays back in 1977. He has been a terrific coach for a long time on a lot of good teams. From Vancouver. Now makes his home in Arizona, but he and La Russa and Duncan have been together a long time.
Yeah, Dave McKay goes all the way back to the Oakland days with Tony.
Yadier Molina. First pitch swinging, grounds it to short. Gonzalez to second for one. Back to first. Double play. What a double play. A broken bat ground ball. Not hit that hard, but Gonzalez came after it. Gave it to Hill, who avoided the base runner Rasmus at second. Pretty as a
Is 2 years previous to that as the Arizona Diamondbacks hitting coach. He assists Mark McGuire in the everyday hitting duties, and he felt he's been a very valuable asset, first working under Hal McRae for the first 2 years of his tenure, and now working with Mark McGuire, whom he teamed with for Tony La Russa's Oakland Athletics.
Tony La Russa always has a lot of coaches around already. Early in the day, down in the batting cage, working with hitters, and then assisting Mark McGuire and trying to get everybody on track. Adam Lynn takes the first pitch and then pops up a curveball. Pujols over near the wall and will have room to make the catch. Adam Lynn's retired. One out here in the sixth. Quite a pitcher's duel here tonight. Something you don't see very often. Pitchers going scoreless into the sixth inning.
And I know it's not easy, but at times Chris Carpenter makes it look so easily with that great stuff. So fluid on the mound. The ball comes out of his hand nicely. And when he's got that curveball doing it, what he needs it to do, it's tough.
Chris Carpenter was drafted out of New Hampshire as a high school player in 1993. Number 1 pick, 15th overall in the country. Curveball. When he was a high school pitcher, he threw a forkball. And as soon as he signed, Mel Queen was involved with the pitching in the minor leagues. And he took the forkball away and got him to throw a straight changeup. And that began the development and got Carpenter thinking about making pitches to contact. Curveball.
Big part of what Dave Duncan preaches, pitch to contact.
Well, Carpenter went over to St. Louis, signed when he was hurt. They allowed him to get healthy again. Sharply hit, but there's Ryan ranging to his left and gunning out Vernon Wells. 2 down here in the sixth. Brendan Ryan has great range at shortstop. Plays very deep because he's got the strong arm, and that really enhances his range.
That's one thing that we have noticed in the 2 games here that the Cardinals have played, how deep the infield plays. He's got very quick feet. Look how deep he is. He is on the outfield grass. You usually see that with a big right-handed pull hitter. But he covers a lot of ground. He's got quick feet and very sure hands. Strong arm, like you mentioned.
Well, he had a great year defensively last year, to the point where I saw the Cardinals in September. Mike Shannon, their radio announcer, told me Ryan played the best shortstop he'd ever seen.
And remember,
Ozzie Smith played in St. Louis.
There was a guy who was pretty good for St. Louis.
Well, Mike Shannon played third base next to Dow Maxfield on the great teams in the 60s. I said, Mike, he said, no, I'm telling you. He said, he's got great range, he's got great hands. So I went and asked Larry Boa, who was coaching third base for the Dodgers, and he agreed with Shannon. Said it was the best shortstop he had seen for a while.
Now that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
When you watch Ozzie Smith.
Well, and to get Larry Boa, who played the position and coaches for the Dodgers and watches everybody play every day, said Ryan had a phenomenal season. Gonzalez skies it to center. Rasmus has plenty of room. And Carpenter has a 1-2-3 6th inning. Great pitching duel here. Chris Carpenter for the Cardinals and Ricky Romero. Center. Fans are being entertained to a great pitcher's duel. Ricky Romero and Chris Carpenter. Just 10 hits in the game, and neither club has scored yet. Randy Wynn has a couple of hits against Romero. In fact, the Cardinals have a hit in every inning. But Romero has kept them from crossing the plate. Wynn signed as a free agent on June 5th after playing 29 games for the Yankees. I thought he was a great fit for New York, but it just didn't work out. I thought being a switch hitter and the fact that he could play all three outfield positions, he'd be a good extra man there.
So did I. And a veteran, a guy who has been around, who has played in some big ball games.
Cut on the fastball and missed.
Seemed to make a lot of sense for New York.
Two balls and a strike. Hit on the ground to Hoffbauer. Big hop for the third baseman, and Randy Wynn's retired. One out here in the 7th.
First time that Ricky Romero was able to put away Randy Wynn. A big situation here, leading off the 7th inning and of a scoreless tie. Get the speed off the bases.
Well, what you want to do facing this part of the batting order is retire them quickly. 8, 9, and then the leadoff batter, Lopez. Brendan Ryan, 0 for 2. First pitch strike at the knees. Felipe Lopez stands on deck. Curveball got away from Romero.
He hasn't had his good curveball today. Not like we have seen in the past, like the Texas game when he had 12 strikeouts. Had a good curveball against the Yankees last time he was here. He's been doing it with a good cutter, good fastball, and a good changeup so far tonight.
It's a pitch, the curveball, that Romero will use in the middle innings when it's real good and use that as a get-ahead strike pitch. Foul back, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out here in the seventh. Full count. On the ground to short. Gonzalez takes the big hop and fires in time to get Ryan. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Two outs for Felipe Lopez. First pitch strike on the outside corner.
And down. That's where he has been since about the second inning. He gets really tough if he gets into that groove, which he is in right now. There's a good curveball.
0-2. Tried to bury the changeup, and Lopez laid off of it. Lopez hit a home run, his fourth of the season in last night's game. It came on a 3-2 pitch in the ninth inning off of David Percy. That hit him. Wow. Ted Barrett came out and indicated the ball hit Lopez on the shoulder. Lopez didn't react as if it hit him very hard, but he gets awarded first base, and that's a big turnaround.
Yeah, it certainly is. Two strikes, you're going to try and get him so Holiday, Pujols don't hit with batters on. That might have clipped his uniform. This was a total setup pitch for the next one. Yeah, you can see the uniform move. That left sleeve moved just a little bit. He was going to try and knock him off the plate and go with something outside. But he just clips the uniform, and now Matt Holliday gets to hit with two outs.
Now Holliday 1 for 3 today. Two outs. The Cardinals have had base runners in every inning against Romero. Two balls and no strikes. Romero has stranded 7 base runners. Albert Pujols is on deck. He is 3 for 3 tonight. Lopez almost caught napping. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs here in the 7th. Ground ball to short. Gonzalez flips to Hill, and Romero's done it again. He has stranded a runner. 8 Cardinals stranded on base tonight. Blue Jays trying to jump out in front. We are scoreless, middle of the 7th. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada. Beautiful early evening here in Toronto, and what a game. Chris Carpenter wants to talk things over with his catcher, Yadier Molina, here before we get started in the 7th. A scoreless tie. The dangerous Jose Bautista will be the first batter, and Carpenter made sure that he and Molina were on the same page.
Well, let's go through his at-bats tonight. He lined out on the first pitch he saw, the first time a fastball, and then
curveball. He was sitting all over that pitch.
And the next at-bat, remember all the curveballs Carpenter threw to him? Ended up fouling off 6 of them before walking. I believe it was an 11-pitch at-bat for Bautista, so you're right. I think he was sitting all over that curveball.
No balls and a strike. That sinking fastball down and in, and he fouled it off his foot. Carpenter doesn't leave much to chance. A very well-prepared pitcher. He's now 35 years old. The Cardinals, in games started by Carpenter, 97-43. 54 games over 500. They've got a lot of confidence when he goes to the mound. Curveball misses.
Just look at those numbers. You can see why 30 games over 500 in his career in the first half. And he keeps it going in the second half also.
A ball and 2 strikes. Spoiled a good pitch there. Got a piece of the cutter down and away. Might have been a ball, but couldn't take a chance. We had a game much like this on Saturday. Giants and Blue Jays. Jesse Litch and Matt Cain scoreless into the 8th. Two balls and 2 strikes. Just a bit down. Carpenter wanted it.
Home runs have played a big part. That game you were just talking about, that was the home run by Aaron Hill in the 8th inning. Blue Jays have hit a home run here at Rogers Center 18 of their last 19 games.
Full count pitch. On the ground, but foul. Well, they got the right guy at the plate. 2 home runs in last night's game. Bautista with 20 home runs. The first major leaguer to hit 20 home runs this season. Yadier Molina going over the signs and wants to mix it up with Bautista, so dangerous. Leadoff walk.
Take what they give you. Carpenter pitched very carefully to Bautista. He knows about those 20 home runs. You see him shaking his head, and that ball was just off the plate.
So now in a scoreless game, you're thinking to yourself, well, why don't they steal off Carpenter? Well, they've tried 4 times, and 3 times the runner was caught.
That's right, and you don't want to take the bat out of Lyle Overbay's hand. He has had good success in his career versus Chris Carpenter.
They're going to check Bautista at first. Overbay drove a ball to the wall in left field in the 4th inning. Matt Holliday made the catch. Overbay now 5 for 11 against Carpenter. Carpenter's just making Bautista wait. He wasn't going to throw that pitch. He just wanted to see if somebody wouldn't chip their hand.
Yeah, Tony La Russa does that. He's got the quick step-off move. He's got the throw over, the pitch out. He's also got a play where the pitcher just holds the ball. And maybe the batter will flinch a little bit to show something, or the runner, same way.
Pitch out. Guessing with Cito Gaston. Yadi Molina, the catcher, has caught 52% of the base stealers. I don't think this is a steal situation for Cito Gaston. I think he's going to let his hitters swing the bats. There's another throw over coming from the bench.
Well, he certainly thinks something is up. Lyle Overbay. You mentioned the success that he has had against Chris Carpenter. Does not have a sacrifice bunt either.
I don't think you get into a game like this and change your profile. You don't all of a sudden say, hey, it's a scoreless game, we better bunt.
We better bunt, or hit and run. Lyle Overbay is not a hit and run kind of guy either. Bautista is not a base stealer.
A ball and no strikes. Popped up right field. Bautista halfway. Randy Wynn makes the catch. One out here, bottom of the 7th. A scoreless ball game. John Buck had a swinging bunt up the third baseline for base hit his last time up. Jose Bautista had the leadoff walk. Well, I tell you what, Carpenter keeps the ball on the edges.
Buries it right on the inner half, and the ball is coming down. Tough to square a pitch like that up. Cutters on the corners, inside and out, change speeds. Drop that deuce on you.
No balls and a strike. Pushed him back with a fastball. 1 for 2 tonight. John Buck is 2 for 5 against Carpenter. These two would face one another when Buck was with Kansas City during interleague play. Kansas City and the Cardinals. They are what you call the natural rivals. Cardinals will go from here to Kansas City to finish out interleague play. Right field, but not deep. Randy Wynn has a beat on it, makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 7th. Jared Hoffbauer, strikeout victim as last time. He chased a Carpenter curveball. That double came in the 3rd, a 1-out double. Curveball snap throw to first. Not in time. Tony Randazzo was waiting for the tag. It looked like the throw might have beat Bautista to the bag.
If you are the runner over there in a scoreless game like this in the 7th inning, you want to get a good secondary lead. That's what Bautista did. But a good heads-up play by Molina and Bautista at first.
Took the hand away. Pujols swiped at the bag, and the hand wasn't there. What a good call by the umpire, Tony Randazzo. Oftentimes you see that glove beat the hand and you call them out instinctively, but he saw Bautista take the hand back and called him safe.
He was in great position, and he waited to see the play before he made the call. Great play by Bautista, the heads-up play to pull that hand back and then get it back in there.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Lifted into shallow right field. Felipe Lopez, the second baseman, out, makes the play. Blue Jays get the leadoff walk, but Chris Carpenter buckles down, and he has shut out the Blue Jays. We are scoreless after 7. Scoreless as we start the 8th inning. Albert Pujols 3 for 3 tonight. Lays off the first pitch curveball. Quite a different ball game here tonight. Last night there were 6 home runs hit in the game. 4 by the Cardinals, 2 by the Blue Jays. Tonight there hasn't been a run scored. 10 hits in the game. Broken bat flare down the left field line. That's a fair ball all the way into the corner. Albert Pujols around first, headed for second. Here's the throw to second. Pujols a perfect 4 for 4 night, a leadoff double here in the 8th.
You know, you have to have some kind of bat speed and strength to be able to take a pitch like this. You're jammed, you break the bat, you shatter it. Watch where the head of the bat lands. Past third base, and the ball ricochets down into the corner for extra bases. That is bat speed and throwing the head of that bat.
Big strong man, and his 16th double starts things off here in the 8th inning. Well, now it's the DH, Nick Stavinoa. He does not have a sacrifice bunt here, and he just had a visit from the third base coach, Jose Oquendo. This might be a situation where a young hitter would think, okay, I need to get him over, but I think they probably want Stavinoa to hit.
Well, he's batting 4th for a reason. Not up there to bunt, I would think.
He's bunting, shows bunt, pulls it back. So Kenda delivered the message, at least on the first pitch, they were going to try to sacrifice. Okendo flashing the signs. Pujols a good base runner. Has excellent instincts on the bases. Stavino, as we mentioned, does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. Squares and pops it down the third baseline. They got Pujols hung up. Ricky Romero now responds. There's the throw to second. They've got Pujols in a rundown. Hoffbauer will run him out, but Pujols stayed in the rundown long enough to get Stavino at second. Great instincts. He knew he couldn't make it to third, so he got in the rundown.
Yeah, you just run into an out right there, and there's a man at first base in 1 out. He knows his ability and what he could do on those bases. Tough to bunt on the Blue Jays because their pitchers field the ball so well. Look how far Romero gets off the pitching mound, has the presence of mind. I thought Gonzalez did a good job of getting the ball to Hoffbauer so he could run him back to second base so he could quickly get an out. Right here, Gonzalez gets rid of the ball so he runs him back to second base, hoping to have a chance to get that backside runner.
Both teams executed that perfectly. Pujols stayed in the rundown long enough to allow Stavino, the batter runner, to get to second. Romero with a good piece of fielding. David Freese takes the first pitch for a ball. Camp and Downs are ready in the Blue Jays bullpen. Freese had a 2-run RBI single in the 5th last night. Ricky Romero's given him all sorts of problems tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Efficient with his pitches. Those middle innings, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, has really saved Ricky so he can get deep into this game.
Wow, what a job by John Buck. He has really improved in his ability in anticipating balls in the dirt. I mean, those balls early in the season were going right past him.
Yeah, back to the backstop. And if you've never done that before, you don't know how hard it is to concentrate and catch a fastball coming in there in the low 90s.
You have to anticipate the ball in the dirt before it hits the dirt, or else you'll never be on time. 3 balls and a strike. Changeup. Romero's made some of his best pitches to David Freese tonight. Left-hander Colby Rasmus is on deck. Full count. 1 out. Stavino at second. Got him. Ricky Romero strikes out David Freese for the 3rd time tonight. Got him to chase that pitch down and away.
Doubled up on that changeup. Watch the dead fish ball just die right out of the strike zone, and Freese can't control it. Off speed. John Buck digs it out. Romero picks up another strikeout, his 5th.
Rasmus had a single into center back in the 6th. 2 outs. Just off the plate. Albert Pujols started this inning off with a double down the left field line. He switched places with Nick Stavino when Stavino hit into a fielder's choice. And then Freese struck out. Changeup for a strike. When the hitters are all geared up trying to drive in a run, Romero neutralizes that aggressiveness with the changeup.
Yeah, goes soft when they're tensed up and ready to drive in a run.
Romero struck out Rasmus in the first inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Elevated a fastball and got him to chase. Popped him up. Left field. Dwayne Wise calls for it. Romero strands another base runner. He has stranded 9 Cardinals tonight. We have played 7.5. We're still scoreless. Guy for connected. The NHL awards are being handed out tonight in Las Vegas. Gene Principe will feature Taylor versus Tyler. The question being, who will go #1 in this year's NHL entry draft? And the longest tennis match in history. Suspended due to darkness and about to head into a third day tied at 59 games in the 5th set. Connected right after the ball game. Dwayne Wise takes the first pitch up and away for a ball. Blue Jays have mustered just 3 hits against Chris Carpenter. Wise takes a pitch at the knees, a ball on a strike. Dwayne Wise, just his second start since joining the Blue Jays. He started in San Diego. Lays off that pitch down and away.
Just get on base. That's all you're thinking about right now. Any way you can.
Opposite out of play.
Cardinals are thinking the same thing. David Freese, the third baseman, way in at third, anticipating a bunt. But now with 2 strikes, he'll drop back.
Dwayne Wise played on Monday in San Diego against John Garland and the Padres. Had hits in his first 2 at-bats and struck out in his final 3 at-bats. Went 2 for 5 that day with a run scored. Curveball. Another strikeout for Carpenter. That wicked hook has been tough all night. Aaron Hill will bat with 1 out here in the 8th. Curveball taken for a strike. It was Hill's 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th inning against Matt Cain on Saturday, and helped beat the Giants. They would add on a 3rd run in that inning. Hill hit a 2-run home run off Cain, and then Alex Gonzalez had a broken bat RBI. All the scoring came in the 8th inning.
that is how it's been for a while, hasn't it, in these games? You mentioned the home run on Saturday. Here it is. Fastball over the middle of the plate. Kane tried to go outside, missed. And Aaron Hill didn't miss it.
1-2. Fought off and fouled. That home run came after a 2-out walk to Fred Lewis. Kane was breezing through the ball game. He and Jesse Litch, the starters. A very well-pitched game, much like tonight.
You know, the difference, at least so far, Chris Carpenter has thrown maybe a handful of pitches in the middle of the plate. Very rarely. I think you can count on one hand of a pitch going in the middle.
2-2 off the plate, struck him out. That cut fastball starts on the plate and breaks down and away. 7th strikeout for Carpenter.
And it's got to be awfully tough for a right-hander with 2 strikes, and you see this pitch out there. Tough to give up on it. Carpenter is so tough when he gets to 0-2. Batters are hitting just over 100 against him because he's got so much he can work with to get you out.
Adam Lind takes that first pitch curveball away. Curveball popped up into center field. Rasmus, the center fielder, is there and makes the grab. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. Ricky Romero still on the dugout bench. This pitching line is brought to you by MLB 10, the show only on PlayStation.
8 shutout innings for Ricky Romero. The last time he did that, you have to go back to May the 15th when he had 9 shutout innings against the Texas Rangers. Just 1 base on balls, 5 strikeouts for Romero. He can't win it, and he can't lose it because Cito Gaston has gone to the bullpen, and Kevin Gregg is in for the 30th time this year.
Kevin Gregg, 18 of 21 in save opportunities. This, of course, is not one of those save opportunities. Broken bat pop-up outside of first. Overbay drifts into foul ground and makes the catch. 1 out here in the 9th. You wonder why they go to Kevin Gregg in a situation like this. In my mind, you've got 7, 8, 9 in the Cardinals lineup while you're looking at Vernon Wells leading off the bottom of the 9th. So if you can shut out those 3 guys, have a quick inning, and then you've got a chance to win the game in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, and you can't save a game at home. So you bring them in here in the 9th inning. You shut down the bottom here and take your chances in the bottom of the inning.
Randy Wynn's had a couple of hits tonight. Takes the first pitch strike. Oh, 0-2. This is a good visual for Kevin Gregg. Randy Wynn is 0 for 13 against Kevin Gregg.
Faced each other in the National League. Randy Wynn playing for the Giants.
Staying away with that fastball.
When Kevin Gregg gets proper rest, he's got some good stuff coming out of that arm. Cito used him in back-to-back situations over the weekend. Of course, the off day on Monday, so he is well rested, and that fastball is touching 93 right now. Sinking it and cutting it a lot better.
Gregg pitched in Friday night's game, Saturday afternoon's game, had Sunday off and Monday off. Did not pitch last night.
Another hard thrower for Tony La Russa's team. Jason Mott is up.
Chris Carpenter shutting out the Blue Jays on just 3 hits. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Randy Wynn. 1 out here in the top of the 9th. A scoreless tie. He's staying right outside with that fastball. Hasn't given Wynn anything on the inner part of the plate at all.
Make him reach for it. Another thing that he has done really well with lefties is he's used his cut fastball in the outer half to those lefties. Got a lot of strikeouts with it. Backdooring it.
Into left field, the base hit. Randy Wynn comes through with a base hit with 1 out.
Reliability, resale value, and race-proven innovation. Get it all plus 0.9% financing and a $500 gas card on new Civics during the Honda Checkered Flag event.
1 out now with a runner at first base. Randy Wynn with his 3rd hit of the night. Brendan Ryan, the shortstop. Felipe Lopez, the leadoff batter, on deck. First pitch swinging, Bautista comes in and makes a head-high grab. 1 pitch, and Ryan is retired. Felipe Lopez will step in and bat for the first time from the left side of the plate. He's a switch hitter that hit right-handed against Ricky Romero. Lopez 0 for 6 against Gregg as well. He's had trouble with the big right-hander, but Randy Wynn came through with his first hit, and he's now 1 for 14.
And don't you think you take a chance with Randy Wynn, who's got a couple of stolen bases this year, hasn't been thrown out. Take 1 chance to get into scoring position. If he gets thrown out and they hold him, you got Lopez for the 10th inning.
I guess that's the concern, that if he does get thrown out, you're going to have Matt Holliday on deck. If Lopez can somehow keep the inning alive, you got Matt Holliday stepping to the plate. I'm sure Kevin Gregg understands that situation. He's going to want to retire Lopez right here and not go any deeper in their lineup. Matt Holliday and Albert Pujols have 5 of the 9 hits. A ball and a strike, 2 outs here in the 9th. 2-1. Two and two.
Good pitch right on the outer half. Stay out there. Lopez has the ability to score that runner from first base with an extra base hit. He's got 8 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Just off the plate. It'll be a full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first, Randy Wynn, will be off on the pitch. There he goes. Base hit up the middle. Wynn around second. He's headed for third. Wells gets the ball back into the infield. Wynn stops at third. Lopez, a 2-out base hit.
Randy Wynn wasn't taking anything for granted. That single to center field by Lopez, he was thinking about if the ball was bobbled momentarily out in center field, he was thinking about scoring, and Jose Oquendo had to really put on the brakes. And now the Cardinals have gotten what they wanted. There's the base hit by Lopez. Wynn is off on the pitch, comes out around second base, steaming into third. If this ball's bobbled a little bit, he's thinking, hey, maybe I can score here. Watch this. Got his head down, he's running hard, and then he throws up the stop sign very quickly.
Matt Holliday with runners at the corners. Lopez with a 2-out base hit. Holliday has a 1 hit in 4 at-bats tonight. Kevin Gregg trying to work out of this 9th inning. First pitch, strike. Cardinals have had base runners on in every inning. They've yet to have a run across the plate. A ball and a strike.
They have had to have faced each other in the National League a few times, Gregg and Holliday. He has faced him 6 times.
Just off the plate. Well, you talked about how well Holliday is seeing the ball right now. That was a tough pitch to take.
Yeah, right on the inner half. Looking for that ball out there for him. He has faced him 6 times in his career. He knows what he wants to do with him.
2 balls and a strike. Up and away. 3-1. Two outs, runners at the corners. No score here at top of the 9th. Pujols on deck. Cued off the end of the bat.
Good cutter. Holliday asking home plate umpire Ted Barrett if that was going to be called a strike. Just in a perfect spot.
We are in the 9th. Wynn at third base. Felipe Lopez at first base. Matt Holliday. A 3-2 count. 2 out from Kevin Gregg. Line drive, base hit left field. Randy Wynn comes in and scores the first run of the game. A 3-2 breaking ball, and Holliday stays hot.
Before that series that they played at home against the Oakland A's, he had a career worst 43 at-bats without an RBI, but he has turned into an RBI machine here. Breaking ball.
He hit a good pitch.
Yep, good curveball that was down, but when a hitter is hot like Holiday is, it doesn't matter where you throw it or what you throw. His last 4 games now, he's got 11 RBIs. Chris Carpenter liking what he sees.
Albert Pujols, 4 for 4 tonight. Little look out to the mound. These two have faced one another before. 1 for 5. Popped him up. Bautista calls for it in right field. Pujols is retired, but the Cardinals break through. They come up with a 2-out single off the bat of Matt Holliday. It'll be Vernon Wells. Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Well, it's been a great pitcher's duel, but in the 9th inning, 2 outs, 2 runners on, 3-2. Matt Holliday, the hottest hitter in the National League, comes through yet again for the St. Louis Cardinals, plating Randy Winn with a 2-out single. 11 RBIs now in his last 4 games, none bigger than that one.
Visit BlueJays.com/Burger King to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Super Fan Contest. Matt Holliday is on fire right now. He drove in the only run of this ball game, his 2nd hit of the night, his 5th hit in the series. Your pitcher is Ryan Franklin, the closer, 13 of 14 in save opportunities.
He was an all-star last year. Just 1 blown save in his 14 chances. Now, he doesn't throw nearly as hard as many of the closers that we have seen this year. Really relies on pinpoint control and accuracy. 4 base on balls all season long. Franklin, 37 years old.
Now, Vernon Wells will start things off here in the 9th inning, and Wells had a single in the 4th inning. But he has had a lot of at-bats against Ryan Franklin, and he's had some success. Takes the first pitch down. Against Franklin, Wells is 5 for 15 with a couple of home runs. 1-0 Cardinals. Just on the corner. A ball and a strike. Blue Jays have hit Ryan Franklin hard. Pitch for the Mariners. Inside, 2 balls and a strike.
That's what Ryan Franklin's going to have to do. He's going to have to move the ball around the strike zone. Put a little on, take a little off. There are the numbers that you were just speaking about. A couple of home runs and a couple of strikeouts. Accuracy, throwing it where he needs to, so important.
Line drive down the right field line. This ball is foul. Ball sliced into foul territory and bounced into the seats. Wells going with the pitch very effectively.
Sam mentioned that in the opening tonight about how Dwayne Murphy and Vernon Wells have got together trying to use the whole field just a little bit more. Lined out his first time up to right field, singled, and came oh so close to extra bases there.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Vernon Wells leading off the bottom of the ninth. Franklin was a starting pitcher for the Mariners 2003, 2004, 2005, so the Blue Jays got to see him a lot. Bouncing ball up the middle. Ryan can't make a play. Wells is safely at first base. Ryan had shaded Wells into the hole. He had a long run to get a glove on. Just tipped the ball enough to slow it down.
We talked about that earlier in the game, how deep he plays at shortstop. Sinker hit right into the ground. Look how far he has to come for this ball. Even if he comes up with it, I don't think he gets Vernon Wells at first base. It's an opening single here in the 9th inning for Vernon Wells.
Alex Gonzalez, 0 for 2. And curveball in there for strike 1. Gonzalez, 13 home runs on the season. 3 for 11 against Franklin. Ground ball to third. Freeze to second. Lopez for 1. Back to Pujols. Double play. Sharply hit, but right at the third baseman. Gonzalez hits into a double play for the second time tonight.
Franklin mixes the ball around, sinks it a little bit, so the infield's got to be on their toes. This one a tricky hop for David Freese. It hits that dirt area around third base, stays down, but he stays right with it. Makes a good feed to the second baseman, and Lopez continues on to first base. 5-4-3 double play.
Chris Carpenter is the pitcher of record for the Cardinals. He went 8 innings, allowed just 3 hits to the Blue Jays. Walked 4, but also struck out 7.
Yeah, the 4 walks are the thing that sticks out. Carpenter's always around the plate. Made pitches when he had to. Put a couple runners on via the walk. Stranded 6 runners also.
Tony La Russa still not out of the woods. Jose Bautista, a 2-home run night last night. 20 home runs for the season. Molina and Franklin just had a meeting about how they wanted to pitch to Bautista, and they can't get in agreement on the sign. Now they're set.
Look at Molina, how low he is getting. And he gets the call.
He missed his spot. He wanted it inside and got the ball out over the plate, but it was at the knees for a strike. No balls and a strike. 2 outs here in the 9th. Curveball just off the plate. Bautista has seen a lot of curveballs tonight.
Yeah. Away, in, and then back away.
Like they're coming inside again.
Given that low target, and if he misses, that's why the third baseman is right on the line. No doubles for the Cardinals with the tying run at the plate. He is just a step away from that foul line. Outfield playing very deep and shading him to left field. They don't want anything over their heads that stays in the ballpark.
2 balls and a strike. To me, they're tempting fate, challenging him inside.
Yep.
2 outs here in the ninth. 3 balls and a strike.
You know, that might just be I'm putting this fastball in your mind, but I'm going to get you out away. Setup pitch. He's only given up 1 home run this year.
3-1. Breaking ball on the corner. Bautista was geared up for fastball and took the curveball. Full count. Blue Jays down to their last strike. A 1-0 game here in the bottom of the ninth. Walked him with the curveball. A 3-2 curveball, a 2-out walk to Bautista. Third time he's walked tonight. Lyle Overbay, 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch fastball for a strike.
Franklin needs that command, and he has had it all season long. His last time in a game a couple of days ago, he walked his 4th batter. Bautista is his 5th of the season, and said after that game that he was really trying to be too fine with Connor Jackson when they played Arizona a few days ago. Looked like he was trying to be too fine with Bautista too, and you don't blame him with the home run potential that he has.
No balls and a strike to Overbay. Off the plate inside. Overbay has not homered since the 30th of May. That came against Baltimore. A home run off Jeremy Guthrie. A ball and a strike on the Blue Jays first baseman. 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Bautista walked for the 3rd time tonight. Right to Pujols. That'll do it. Brian Franklin comes out of the bullpen to pick up the save for Chris Carpenter. Carpenter improves to 9-1. Matt Holliday drove in the only run of the ball game. His 36th. Cardinals have won the first 2 games of this series. Stay tuned for Connected.